Reba here. Welcome back to Gooseberry Homestead. So I made a video earlier today, and then in my video I said I'm gonna do this other thing, and I decided to go ahead, delete that video, and show you what I was gonna do. So I've been working, and I just finished moving all my pots back out into the yard after the snowstorm, and I moved my greenhouse, and I'll show you where I put it here in a second. Well, if anybody has been here for any amount of time, you guys know that I'm always moving my container pots around because I'm still learning this region, and every part of your yard is going to have a different type of microclimate. So I know that where my greenhouse is right now will get really hot this summer, so I'll have to move the majority of the plants out of there. But I think if I do some tomato plants in container pots, they'll do really great right where I have it now, so I won't have to actually move my greenhouse, which will be really awesome. So that's if we don't end up moving this summer. So anyways, I'll show you, I'll point out which plants I had moved up to the house. I had them all sitting right here in this section. We had that snow, and then we had a couple more hours of really heavy snowfall. And when that happened, I was really worried that it was going to continue snowing because my phone forecast said snow for more days, still at that point. But that evening, it began to rain. And so it warmed up, and by morning, half of the snow was gone, and so you could see my pots halfway. Well, I didn't want to chance it because it was still pretty cold, so I left my plants that I had moved up here. I had moved the plants that had the grafts, and I had moved some of my raspberries and stuff like that. I was just really worried that the snow was just going to just break a lot of stuff, and some of my raspberry limbs did get broken on my double gold, but it wasn't like crazy because remember last summer I had trimmed all of my berry plants back like significantly, and I'm really glad I did now. So let's show you how the garden's looking after that giant snowstorm. We only have just a little bit of snow left in the yard, just a couple clumps here and there where the kids had made snowballs, big ones. So show you how everything's looking. So here is how my snapdragons are looking. All the brown bits are seed pods. I need to come out here, and I'll do that here in a little bit. Now that I'm thinking about it, and it's such a nice day, clean my clippers and trim off all the dead bits. I did have some breakage. I had a limb break off from the snow. This whole area had snow on it too. This is actually doing really good. Again, I think this is a fuchsia, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what these flowers are. I think they're flowers. So we'll just wait and see how what comes up. I'm not sure what they are, you guys. I'm excited. I'm hoping that I'll get some flowers off of it this year. And so everything's looking good there. Snapdragons made it through the winter. That's pretty cool. My arugula made it through, and the babies are still here. They still look good. Hot oregano, that does really good. Cold winter hardy plant, can be snowed on. Same with the mint. This is the Moroccan mint. I had freezing ground a couple times this winter. Only less than a couple weeks worth of cold weather. It's doing great. Bernat, still going good. I don't know how this would fare in the more northern climates, but here in zone Z, zombie zone, here in zone B, 7B, it's doing great. Here are my couple plants that I have that made it. This is the lemon thyme. I've got about 4 small plants of that, and it might come back from the roots. We're gonna watch. I'll keep you updated on that. Same over here. I got all these little baby German thyme. The German thyme is key, I guess. That's the one I should really stick to. Look at all those babies. Those are all little baby plants that I can pot up and share with other people if I want to, sell them if I want to, what have you. Down here I've got my I can't remember what it's called. I'm wanting to call it Swiss chard down in here in this pot that I grew last year. And my Cascade Delight is this one. Here is my Tulamine raspberry. I love the flavor of the Tulamine raspberry. You guys, I can't talk. Seriously. Love it. Love it. Double gold. I really love this one too. We had some breakage on this one. You can see one of the stalks that is laying right there. We'll see what comes back, but there is some green there, so I am hopeful. I have no doubts that there's going to be a bunch of new plants coming up from the roots this year. So looking forward to that. This is double gold also. It looked like a dead root, so we'll see what comes up in this little pot. I'm going to actually move this out to the greenhouse here in a couple minutes, but I'm using my finger to point with right now, so we'll just leave it there. This one is the orange raspberry. This is supposed to be a thornless, and I have no clue if it's actually going to be orange raspberry. That's what the lady told me, so we'll find out. These I got at the same time. She wasn't home when I got them. She just told me where the raspberry was, and I was getting 2 raspberries. We were doing a trade with some gooseberries and some other plants and goji berries and things like that. And these were in the same pot, or in a pot right next to these ones. And so they were supposedly the same thing, but the stems of this one reminds me and looks like what I've seen online is a black raspberry. So I'm not sure, and we will be watching this one too, so I'll keep you guys updated on these 2 raspberries. Then I got my goji berry plant. I have not had any berries on this yet. This right here is my boysenberry, and it's doing good. It fared all right. I think the stem right here is dead. I don't think it survived, but I don't think that has anything to do with the storm that we had. The bottom part might be alive, but this top region is dead. At least it looks dead. Then I've got all the apples, you guys, over here. I moved these ones over here. These are the ones that are not grafted. These are the ones I grew from seed. So I have them up against the fence line here. And the root systems were really small on them. So I'm really glad that I went ahead and separated them out away from the berries and gave them their own small pot to grow in, because they didn't have big root systems. So these size pots for right now are perfect for them. And so I'm gonna leave them in there until I absolutely need to pot them up. Then this has a blackberry, some blackberry roots in it, and these are my blackberries right here. Now, I did notice in the Baker Creek seed catalog that they have a white blackberry, and I'm gonna get it because I have one extra purple pot that I can put some blackberries into, or I can get another black pot about this size to put that into, or I could even use one of these smaller pots that I have extra. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get that. I think that would be a really great addition to my blackberries. So I have straight up blackberry, and then I have the boysenberry, and then I'm golden. I really love getting unique different varieties, and the white blackberry is said to have been they thought it had gone extinct, and somebody decided to share one that they still had, and so we're also blessed to be able to get this, and the more people start growing it, the more we can keep it alive out in the world. And so yeah, I think that's great. So we'll come over here. This is where I decided to put the greenhouse, you guys, and mainly because of the fact that my greenhouse got broke up on the top part, so I can still utilize it in this section, and I'll be able to it won't get quite as hot. It'll have a little bit more shade, but at the same time it'll be able to get warm inside, and it's already pretty warm inside, so this is a really great spot. So I've got my rosemary. One of the limbs broke on this, and then I've got my flowers here, and I thought that would be really nice to have some of my flowers right next to the entrance of the greenhouse. And then I've got the peach that I am grafting, the limb right here, and I saw something a few minutes ago when I moved it over here, and it's under the cover of the shed here, so the it'll be a little bit more protected from any snow. We are forecasted to get snow next Thursday. That's what my phone is telling me right now, but yesterday it said Sunday and Saturday, next Saturday and Sunday, and Now it doesn't. So I have a feeling that we're not going to get any more snow. And I'm kind of hoping for that. And so anyways, so right here we've got the sage. So I've decided to move everything over here so that less chance to get disturbed. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, buddy.
Hi. You need to go put some chapstick on because your lip is splitting a little bit. Okay? Okay. All right. I love you too.
I want to go.
Well, we're not going anywhere. If you're ready to go, you're going on your own. But I don't think you're going to go on your own because you need to be driven somewhere. Right? We're not going to buy no toys. All right. So I'm going to continue with my video. All right. So I moved everything in here. So let's do a little update and see how everything's doing in here. And I think this will be a little bit warmer position for some of the plants that need to get started from seed. And so I'll show you. I started the arugula. This is the red dragon arugula inside. And I figured it needed to come outside because I don't have proper grow lights in the house and they would start getting leggy. So I've moved them out here. They've already, a lot of them have already sprouted. So I'm really excited. And I love, love, love arugula. So I'm looking forward to this. And then right here, I have some Cornelius cherry seeds and I'm hoping that they will sprout. I see something back here, you guys, and hopefully you'll be able to see it too. Right here. We'll see if I can get a good view. Right there. That is one of the rose hip seeds that has come up. I'm so excited. If I only get one, I'll be happy. So, wild rose, I'm ecstatic. So there's that. And then I got my grape hyacinths back here, and I'm hoping that we'll see some blossoms coming up soon. I know out front of my house, my blossoms have already started showing, and I'll show you the blossoms that are coming up in my little container in front of the greenhouse too. I do have some that look like they're going to be having some. This is the, oh goodness, lemon verbena starts that I had started. I'm going to be watching these to see which ones are coming back. Some of them never lost their greenness, but some of them did. The strawberries, this is the Parisian up in this part. These strawberries will be going back out onto the fence line in the near future, like probably March. And then over here we've got the Pharisis. These are the ones I grew from seed last year. They're looking good. Over here we have the Laurens. And I have a friend that is wanting some strawberries, and I'm thinking I'm gonna give her my Laurens. And then probably I'll share some of my Parisians with her as well. And so that'll be good. Then over here, I've got some Frescas growing. These ones I grew from seed as well, but I have not gotten any strawberries off of these yet. When these ones start making fruit, I'll be sharing some of the runners that I get from this with my friend as well. Then down here, I know she's gonna want some of these strawberries. These ones are the white strawberries, the pine berries. So these ones are going, well, pineapple strawberries. So these ones taste like pineapple a little bit. So I know she's going to want some of these. And then they're all looking really good, you guys. This one is the Toscana strawberry seeds are in this little container. They have not come up yet, but I have a feeling that in this warmer position in the yard, they will be growing within the next few months. We'll start seeing starts. The rosemary's looking great, you guys. I have that here. And then this is my elderberries, and we have signs of life coming on these ones, so I'm really excited. Got some more right here. Actually, I even saw a little leaf right here coming on, right there. We'll see if you guys can see that. Kind of zoom in. You see that little leaf right there? There, it looks beautiful. So we've already got leaves coming on in the greenhouse, and these were over in along that other fence line where they weren't getting quite as much sun. So these are going to take off in the greenhouse, and I might even go ahead and add these rooted cuttings for sale in my Etsy shop for those who are wanting some rooted cuttings. And so we'll just have to wait and see how everything goes. I might do that with the gooseberries as well. So be keeping an eye out for those in the next couple months or so. I'll be adding those. In this I have chestnut seeds, and I put them in November 21st, and I had them in the fridge for about a month or so, and then I moved them out to the greenhouse because the temperature was pretty much the same. And then and now I'm just gonna wait, and now that they're in a little bit warmer spot, I'll be checking them, and I'll keep you guys updated on these chestnut seeds in another video all by themselves once I see them sprout. So I put them in the peat moss on the 21st and dampened the peat moss, and so we'll be keeping an eye on that. Then down here I've got my white mulberry here, and I've got another one that has white mulberry. It's on the other side. This one has my Forella pear, and it looks like 2 more pears have come up in the pot, possibly an apple seed or a pear. We'll just have to watch it and see. So I've got one on this side and one on this side, and I don't remember what the other pear was. So I should have left the stake in there, you guys. That's what I'm known for, taking the stakes out. Here's my peach tree, and I only had one of the peach seeds that survived this, and I know that for a fact because the other one was mushy, and I only had put 2 peach seeds in this container. So my peach tree's doing good. Never lost its leaves this winter. Kept it in the greenhouse. I had moved it out to the yard, but yeah, I brought it back in to the greenhouse right before the snowstorm, so it never did lose its leaves. But it's looking good. Signs of growth at the top, which is good. This is the St. John's wort. It's doing great. My little blueberry, American blueberry, is looking great. And then here is the container that I have some gooseberry seeds planted in. I don't know, we'll have to watch through the grass, or the moss, I guess. My blueberries are showing signs of life, which is great because these were cuttings that I took at the end of the season last year. So they look like I've got some new growth coming on the ends of some of them. Even one that I thought was dead, we've got green on right here. So that's really exciting. Be keeping an eye on these. I've got pink and sharp blueberries there. Then I've brought in just a little container of the gooseberries that I took cuttings of. Lemon verbena. Here's my apple tree that I have the graft on. I was thinking that maybe having it in the greenhouse might actually help the graft take, because it's a little bit warmer in here. So we'll see. Then I just moved my little greenhouse that's got the lettuce in. That's how the lettuce is looking. So excited about that. And then these strawberries are looking good. I got crandall currants over here. Some more lettuce. So I should be seeing some lettuce to eat here really soon. I think this one is a blackberry. We'll see. I like to grow blackberries. Then we've got all these other berries down here. I've got my gooseberries in the corner. I've got a weed here, I think. I've got some elderberries here, a little bit of rosemary, a goji berry stems. I don't know if they're gonna come up. Then I've got random berries in these. This looks alive still. This is my avocado, one of the avocados, and I decided to leave it in the greenhouse just as an experiment to see if it would survive. If it survives, you guys, I'm leaving this one out in the greenhouse all year long. Then we've got some crandall currant here. nut trees are planted in these 3 pots. We got hazelnuts, pecans, and I'm wanting to say, I can't remember what the other one, almonds. And then I've got another white mulberry there, weeds, some random other things growing, my nettles in the back, and then I've got that one Himalayan pine tree. It looks like we've got, I'm not sure if there's any damage on it, but I'm watching it, you guys, because it was doing kind of poorly. So that's pretty much it in the greenhouse. I've got a little bit of room here on the back area to do some starts, which I will be doing. So let's continue out here. I wanted to show you guys the signs of life here. Look at that, right next to the graft. It's all plump right here, this area, right next to where the graft is, and there's green right there. That is really, really exciting to me, which means the graft might actually take. So I'm looking forward to this. A really nice sunny spot, and it's protected under the overhang here, so I'm really excited. Then right here, I've got that rose bush with the grape hyacinths and the hyacinths in here, and we do have signs of blossoms right down here. So we will have grape hyacinth blossoms, and then we have the big hyacinths coming up here. So I'm expecting to probably get the hyacinths here, but I'll show you my flowers out front when they start blooming. But I've got the same flower buds coming up in the front, so I'm really excited. I started out with 5 grape hyacinth bulbs that I got from the hospital after I had my hysterectomy in Germany, and these are the babies from those grape hyacinths. Then I've got my rosemary, and so it's kind of a nice little reminder. It was like a nice little cheery tableside flower of something that's alive that wouldn't die, and it was so special, and I'm so happy, and I have so many of them now. It's crazy. So let's go see the rest of the plants. So right here, you guys, is the Spanish apricot tree. I had moved this one up under the edge of the house because this branch over here kept collecting snow and then going down, and it was this section right here that was collecting the snow and making it and pulling it down. So I might have to trim that bit off, but we'll see what growth we get this year, and that'll determine whether or not I keep that section. So don't be afraid to trim off sections of your trees that can cause damage later. So that's what I'm thinking, is that one little section there. And so I'm just gonna wait and see how everything goes. This has got some maple tree seeds in it. My elderberry thundercloud is looking really beautiful. Got a lot of nodes there for growth. This is my lilac I got for my friend, the same friend that I'm planning on helping with some of the other plants, which is great. I also gave her one of my extra Spanish apricots. Hopefully it's still alive. Then here is my pink lemonade blueberry. I've moved it to this section of the garden since I've got all my berries along the fence line and my small apple trees, which I'll probably move the apple trees later when summer starts getting into full swing, because there will be branches on those, and I just think it would be better for them to be away from the fence line at that point. But it's really nice to have my berries along the fence line because it keeps them from blowing over, because they act like cells. They're tall bits that grow will act like cells and pull them over and break and stuff. So here is my other elderberry. I can't talk. My other elderberry. This is the Alesso. And then I've got my sharp blueberry. And again, like in my greenhouse, I have starts from my sharp blueberry and my pink lemonade. So I'm really excited about those starts as well from clippings. Then here's my columer. I'm thinking this one's the tasty red. I can't remember for sure. Then I've got my Russian olive trees. This is my olive herb and my soapwort in this container, with the other columnar. And then I'm thinking I might need to reposition my stakes in my columnars and just extend the little green Velcros that I have them with. Then here is my Ivan's Beauty Mountain Ash, looking really good. I did lose, I think, most of this Rose of Sharon, but the bottom half is still alive, so that's exciting. And I've got the Bubbleberry and my other grape hyacinths in this, so I might see some grape hyacinth flowers here this summer or spring. This is the other apricot that I have. I moved this one up as well because I was afraid that it would get damaged from the snow. I also had moved the one that has the herbs in it right here because I did have some breakage on the olive herb and I didn't want the olive herb to get ruined, so I brought that one up as well. And then I think this one right here has the fig seeds in it. And my sister did purchase me a fig tree. I have that in my bathroom right now. And I will move that outside. It's a hardy Chicago, so that one will be good outdoors here. So next year it'll be outside. And it'll overwinter outside in a protected area. Probably over by where Walter is, next to the shed. He's enjoying the sun. Then we've got the Fantasia. It's doing great. All the buddings coming on. Then my European cherry plum, I moved that one up for safety as well, just on the off chance that the snow might hurt it because it has young limbs, but it did all right and it probably would have been just fine out in the yard. I did move all the gooseberries over here only because I was putting them up on top of the snow and I knocked the snow off. But with gooseberries, if a limb breaks, it's not like crazy, especially during this time of the year because it is dormant and all you need to do is poke the limb into some dirt and come spring you've got another plant because it'll root from the nodes where the branches form and the leaves form. So there's that. Then I've got my semi-dwarf red Bartlett pear right here. It's looking good. And then my gooseberries are all in between here, all this section here, and I'll move those again. Those aren't going to stay right here. And then I do expect to have some berries probably this year on the gooseberries, so I'm looking forward to that. Then right here is my Rainier cherry, and it's looking good. And most of these trees that I got from the box store, because of the limb shape of them, I didn't have any issues with the snow. It was easy to knock the snow off just by tapping the stakes I have in the containers, and the snow would just fall off really easy every day. Then I've got my Honeycrisp apple, which is my son's favorite apple, so looking forward to having that in the future. Crandall Currant is looking great right here. And the very end, I have the Goldcott apricot, and this is such a cute little tree. I love the shape of it. It's just really darling. And I'm looking forward to getting fruit on this year because I do see some fruiting spurs on it, and I'll show you that really quick. So there are fruiting spurs here. And there's fruiting spurs here. And every branch has some, which is really exciting. Garlic is looking good. Parsley is looking great. And so I'll be moving the leaves off of a lot of these here in the future. I just moved this and I bent the limb on the gooseberry earlier. I need to just reposition this. There we go. I just have these in place so that my son doesn't run up and down the fence line and break my little bushes that I've planted. The broccoli actually survived the snowstorm, and I thought it wasn't going to, but it did just fine. I moved a lot of stuff. So here is the flowers. This is the hydrangea plant right here. and I'm looking forward to seeing hydrangeas on it. Hopefully we'll see if they survived here in a couple months. So looking forward to that. And then I've got this whole section pretty much clear. There are some garlic planted in these containers along here, just in a couple of them. And then this is where the greenhouse was, and you can see where the snow had fallen on either side. Now it's moved. And then here are the gooseberries that I had up along the edge of the house. They're doing all right, and there's some sage as well. I will probably be moving these out along the fence line closer to the greenhouse where I have it now. And then these are my cherry that I grew from seed, and then the other two smaller cherries right here and right here, those ones are from the tree out back. They grew from the roots, and so they look good. And there's celery growing in here. It was called cutting celery, so I don't know exactly how it grows, but I'm hoping to be able to harvest some of this year. Last year it was still really small in the smaller containers that I had on the fence line, so hopefully I'll get some celery from it this year. If at all anything, I can harvest the leaves and use them in soups, like a small soup. So hopefully we'll see what happens. And lastly but not least, you guys, I had moved my Lebanon cedar up under the edge of the house here during the snowstorm, and kept all the snow off of the limbs so that the young limbs wouldn't get broken in the snowstorm. I felt it was crucial that I was vigilant about making sure that I protected this young tree during the storm. There might still have been some sort of damage to some of the limbs, I'm not sure, but I will be keeping an eye on the tree, and it's looking great, you guys. Anyways, here's the bubble wrap that was on top of the greenhouse, but now, as you guys can see, it's up underneath the edge of the shed in a little bit better position, and it will still get sunlight. It'll still heat up and help germinate seeds and that sort of thing. So I'm hoping by moving it there, I'll be able to get a little bit better of a jump start on some of the plants that I want to put in the garden, as long as we don't end up moving. If we do end up moving, then I will be selling any of the starts that I start that I would have possibly put into my big old garden that I want to have. And then maybe just put a couple in container pots that we could move if we end up moving. So anyways, you guys, thanks for watching my video. Comment, like, and subscribe, and click that bell button. And as always, have a wonderful day, and God bless. Bye.